Welcome to the Explainer. All right, we're jumping right into it today because what we're unpacking is honestly a monumental shift in how we all work. We're looking at the dawn of artificial intelligence in the workplace, but not just as a passive tool anymore. We're talking about an independent, proactive coworker. Let's dig into the massive launch of ChatGPT Work and what it actually means for you and me.
July 10, 2026. Put a pin in that date, because it's not just some routine software update. This could literally go down as the day work changed forever. Think of it like drawing a line in the sand of modern tech history. You've got the era before AI agents and the era after. On this day, OpenAI dropped a total bombshell that shifted the entire landscape.
And to really wrap our heads around the scale of this shockwave, 900 million. 900 million. That is OpenAI's weekly active user base right now. It's a staggering number, and it completely highlights why this matters. They aren't testing this tech in some quiet, isolated beta group. They are rolling out an agent-based system to the single largest AI user base on the planet.
Section 1. From Tool to Proactive Agent. So here is the fundamental shift we're talking about. It's a totally different ballgame compared to the chatbot we've all been using for the last few years. The old ChatGPT, totally reactive. It just sits there in its own little isolated box waiting for you to type a command, you ask, it answers. But ChatGPT Work, it's proactive. It operates on its own. Once you give it the green light, it's actually in there reading your emails, joining your Slack channels, and autonomously scheduling meetings. It hooks up seamlessly to over 50 different enterprise tools.
But wait, what exactly makes something an agent? Well, we kind of need to reset our brains here and forget the idea of a simple chatbot. An agent is a system that operates completely independently. It gathers data from a bunch of different sources and actually makes decisions without a human needing to click approve. Basically, it's an autonomous digital worker taking action on your behalf.
And the engine making this new digital worker tick, that would be GPT 5.6, and it comes with some seriously heavy-hitting upgrades. First up, multi-step reasoning. That means it can take a massive, complex goal, chop it down into bite-sized subtasks, and knock them out in a logical order. It also directly connects to external APIs, so it's reaching right into your calendar and inbox. Add in memory persistence, so it actually remembers that random thing you talked about last Tuesday, and a massive 128K context window. To put that in perspective, that's like it reading and instantly memorizing a 300-page book from a single prompt. Wild, right?
Now you might be wondering, how does it actually talk to all your company's software? Well, enter MCP, or Model Context Protocol. This is the secret sauce for how OpenAI is scaling this up so fast. MCP is basically an open standard layer. Think of it like a universal adapter or an app store framework. It lets these AI agents instantly communicate with enterprise APIs without needing custom code written for every single app. It's the crucial bridge that lets ChatGPT Work just plug right into tools like Gmail, Notion, Jira, and Salesforce, completely effortlessly.
Moving on to Section 2, the three-way enterprise war. You know, whenever a new tech frontier opens up, especially one this lucrative, a massive corporate battle is pretty much guaranteed. OpenAI is definitely not the only giant trying to set up shop in your digital office. Let's look at the current battlefield. OpenAI is leading the charge with ChatGPT Work at $60 a month per user, flexing that GPT 5.6 model and those 50-plus integrations. Then we have Anthropic's Claude Cowork coming in at $55 a month. Their whole differentiator is safety, using what they call constitutional AI to try and block risky autonomous decisions. And finally, Microsoft Copilot Cowork at $50 a month. They're using a GPT-5 base, but their big selling point is being deeply and natively baked right into the Microsoft 365 ecosystem. Three massive players, three very different strategies.
So, $60 a month per user. Why such a hefty price tag compared to what we pay for the consumer version? Well, running that massive GPT 5.6 model eats up $15 right off the bat in compute costs. Then factor in enterprise support, API costs, and storage. But check out that $27 profit margin. That is a highly strategic move by OpenAI to capture some huge enterprise profits. Though, to soften the blow and get companies hooked faster, they are throwing in a free tier for up to 5 users, making it incredibly easy for small teams to just give it a try.
And honestly, here is why capturing those enterprise profits is absolutely critical for them right now. $850 billion. That is OpenAI's pre-IPO valuation. I mean, wow. To justify being one of the most valuable startups in human history, they literally have to evolve from a cool research lab into a highly profitable, indispensable enterprise software giant. ChatGPT Work is exactly the vehicle they're using to make that jump.
Okay, Section 3. Privacy and unchecked risks. Because letting autonomous agents run loose in a corporate network, That's not just a cool technical milestone, it opens up a massive can of worms for security and compliance. Check out this incredibly revealing study from MacRumors. 66% of organizations are currently deploying these AI agents without any human review in their workflows. Yeah, you heard that right, 2/3. That means the vast majority of these systems are out there processing sensitive data, firing off emails, and making minor corporate decisions completely unchecked by a human eye.
And this brings us to a massive brewing concern, perfectly summed up by Dr. Sarah Chen, an AI security researcher at Stanford. She points out, "We are building tools that can make decisions instead of humans, but we still do not know how to control them. This gap between deployment and governance is a brewing crisis." And she hit the nail on the head. Security experts are deeply, deeply anxious right now about data privacy, legal compliance like the strict GDPR laws in Europe, and frankly just historical trust issues about how tech giants handle sensitive corporate data to feed their models.
To really grasp the real-world stakes here, we just have to look at what's already happening across different industries. On one hand, the efficiency gains are absolutely undeniable. You've got the massive law firm Baker McKenzie using agents to perfectly summarize dense legal documents, and fintech giant Stripe using them to autonomously crush complex customer support tickets. But then you have the dark side of the coin. Recently, a project manager on Reddit reported losing a $500,000 contract. Why? Because their AI agent hallucinated, totally misjudged the priority of an incoming email, and autonomously canceled a vital client meeting. Just brutal.
So, with stories like that out there, how is OpenAI actually mitigating the risk? Their main line of defense is what they call a virtual machine sandbox. Basically, when the agent goes to work, it's placed in a totally isolated environment. It gets strictly limited API access, mandatory logging of literally every single action it takes, and the sessions automatically self-destruct after 30 minutes. It's a security architecture designed specifically to stop the agent from hoarding corporate data or wandering into unauthorized internal systems if it goes off the rails.
Section 4. The future of work.
Beyond all the APIs, the sky-high valuations, and the sandboxes, this whole paradigm shift is going to fundamentally change what it means for you and me to just go to work every day. There's a fierce automation debate happening right now, and it really comes down to two sides. On one side, you have the hard data and forecasts from firms like McKinsey. They predict that up to 30% of administrative jobs, we're talking executive assistants, project coordinators, support reps, could be entirely automated by these agents by 2030. But on the flip side, you have folks like OpenAI CEO Sam Altman taking a much more optimistic view. He argues that these agents are complements, not replacements. The vision there is that AI handles the repetitive, mundane stuff, which actually frees us humans up to focus on higher-level strategy and creativity.
Which brings us to the ultimate question, the one we all have to grapple with as this tech lights up millions of screens worldwide. Are we actually ready to let AI decide? We're moving so incredibly fast from a world where AI is just a neat tool we use to a reality where AI is a colleague acting on our behalf. It's fascinating, it's complex, and it is the undeniable reality of our new autonomous coworkers. Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer. Keep learning, keep questioning how these tools are shaping our world, and I will see you next time.